Hey everybody and welcome to a new video. Since everyone is starving for WIT piece, I thought I'd highlight how much we know about it after Moonrise has dropped, since Moonrise has the same series director Masashi Koizuka and producer Ryoma Kawamura. A much clearer idea was formed in my head after watching it and closely looking into its staff. It's mostly gonna be about the production quality and the names that will most likely appear on the remake. And there's some very big name I want to highlight specifically later here. Not to mention there's some very young animators working under Kawamura that I want to highlight. They are almost guaranteed on the remake. Stick around till the end because there's some big surprises that I did not expect. However, no matter what, I would still prefer people to not take what I say as full confirmation for anything. It's more about my personal observation of the connections of the staff. Also, since Moonrise was produced years ago, some animators could have taken different paths and may not appear. But I'm confident in the names I'll be mentioning. So without wasting time, let's get into it. It's safe to say that Moonrise, at least production-wise, did not disappoint. In fact, it exceeded my expectations. The fight scenes were incredible with very cool camera work throughout, as you'd expect from Attack on Titan's team. It had some big episodes that were truly incredible, while the rest still maintained consistency in every department, with very skilled animation directors guiding it. I'll try to not make the video too long because I've spoken about a lot of things in the previous two parts. I'll be separating this video into different categories, starting with Ryoma Kawamura animators. Kyu Johei, one of the impressive animators under Kawamura, is a Chinese animator who appeared regularly on Moonrise. He handled some very cool action and was guided by veterans like Takuma Ibisu and Yasuyuki Ibara. The action cuts he delivered were among the most memorable, mainly fast-paced action elevated by the 3D backgrounds. This animator worked on Dandadan and Elusive Samurai as well. He seems to be an all-round good animator, but he shines mostly with action. His smears are very good. Another young animator who is extremely promising. He seems to excel in character acting and effects. His sense of weight of the characters is impressive. I don't think there's any other credits with his name besides Moonrise so far, so I think he'll be on the remake. Megumi Tomita appeared on almost every Moonrise episode as one of the animation directors. I previously spoke about her, and she drew a One Piece illustration not long ago of Buggy's henchman. I take responsibility for what I say here, but I think she's as good as confirmed. And this might be good news for Borati, considering her animation on the food in Moonrise. Takuyuki Azuma is another animator under Kawamura and someone with great effects work. They did a cool acting cut on the animal scene that really stood out to me when watching. This animator also seems to be very capable all-rounder for action and acting. Ken Imazumi is one of the animators for One Piece Remake, is one of the confirmed ones, so I was interested in seeing more of his work on this show, and while probably he got much better since then, as Moonrise was produced long ago, his animation still stood out in big episodes, delivering great close-range combat. Shuhei Fukuda is also confirmed, and I've spoken about him in the past, and honestly might be the animator I'm excited for the most. His work on the latest My Hero Academia movie was incredible, but his Endeavor cut years ago remains my favorite. Mitsuaki Takabe, this name being on the remake is almost a guarantee, and I discovered it in a funny way. Not gonna go into details, but their work on Vinland Saga was amazing, and they seem to handle scenes with 3D backgrounds and cool rotations. There's one thing Moonrise made very clear to me, which is the importance of animation directors, even more so than key animators. They were simply too good. And I think we'll see a lot of them on the remake, on the top of the fact that we have Asano helming the show with Honda. Satoshi Kimura is one of the members who contributed the most to Moonrise and supervised amazing action on the show. The character designer of the iconic Titans and one of the most essential and best members of WIT Studio. Chiba's action supervision on Moonrise was incredible, but I believe Chiba was credited as one of the action animators too, so I assume smaller involvement on WIT piece. Satoshi Kadawaki is the chief animation director for Attack on Titan. His supervision was unsurprisingly incredible on Moonrise as well. Since he's Asano's friend, I have doubt we won't see him on the remake, in one way or another. There are also other in-house animation directors like Ayumi Yamada and Taisei Kudo. If you want to see more names, watch my previous two videos. Now I'm gonna talk about the Star of Moonrise, and he'll be my build-up for the guest animators who will appear. An animator known for great animation sequences on Attack on Titan, but here in Moonrise, he makes his directorial debut and produces the 3 greatest episodes in the whole show by a landslide. Not only his direction and storyboard were incredible, but his episodes always featured the gathering of insane talents. Ibara's artistic mind gave even dialogue or calm moments special flair, but his action storyboard really is his main strength, especially with how his episodes had the gathering of very strong animators. Two familiar names with One Piece appeared on his episodes, Honehone and Shu Sugita, and more than once, although their output not too big, but the connection to the staff is there, especially for Ibara's episodes. Honehone storyboarded the best action in One Piece, and Sugita helped him out on the fight in big ways. These two talents are unstoppable, and Honehone criticized the One Piece sound effects, so maybe he would want to work on a One Piece with good sound effects. Since he's a fan, I don't think he'll have big output if he appears, considering he has a big role on Chainsaw Man movie. But yeah, if Ibara gives us at least 1 or 2 episodes on big action, then we'll witness something really special. And that leads me to more guest animators, Yuki Sato, quite possibly one of the coolest animators in the industry. She appeared many times on Moonrise. Her expressive style for character acting and snappy action is a treat to witness. She has been a regular on Bleach in recent years, so only time will tell if she appears here or on Bleach final season. Another animator I spoke about previously is Kazuhiro Miwa. I spoke about his connections to the One Piece remake stuff, and yeah, he appeared as well on Moonrise. Although I don't think he did something too crazy, but his work was still very memorable. He's a name I fully expect to appear. He also appeared recently on the Yaiba remake by WIT Studio. An action scene really grabbed my attention in Moonrise episode 3, so I asked Kawamura on Twitter, and he replied with Isao Hayashi. If you watch my previous videos, I already spoke about the connection Kawamura has with Shaft affiliated talent like director Toshimasa Suzuki, and Isao Hayashi is someone who did memorable things for Shaft Studio in the past, but also worked on many other high profile shows. His effects work is just too good, and his impact frame here is just so cool. Familiar French animators also appeared on Moonrise, Mehdi Awichawi and Dorian Coulon. Both of these animators are very skilled, and in Mehdi's case, he also participated on Yaiba remake. And now there's one producer at WIT Studio who is just too strong, and he helped out on Moonrise, Kazuki Yamanaka. He has a lot of big talents under his name, like Shu Sugita, who I spoke about numerous times, and one of the best animators at WIT Studio, Keisuke Okura, who did insane action for Spy Family, or the animator who joined Yamanaka in recent times, Kaito Tomioka, someone who's not stranger to One Piece, as well as Tatsuya Murakami. All of these names are just way too strong, and they appeared on Yamanaka's Moonrise episode, except Tomioka. I can see Yamanaka handling an episode on the remake, which will naturally grab all of this talent to the episode. Finally, the legend himself, Tetsuro Araki, has made an appearance on the final Moonrise episode. Although did not direct it, he provided storyboards, so hopefully he can appear on the remake, maybe with bigger output, but for now I'm lowering my expectations a bit. And that should wrap things up. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got a clearer idea about the connections of the staff. Thanks a lot for watching. Like and subscribe. See you next time.